technologies as well as the DG. They are abroad on business travel. And we also have an apology from the FPB board chairperson. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Secretariat. We also want to record the presence of the legal services, parliamentary legal services are here at the request of the chairperson, I would imagine, and they have informed me that they would not be in a position to provide any legal input into today's discussions because they did not get a briefing of the presentations that will be shared. However, if the portfolio committee so requests, they will be able to provide written feedback after the meeting. Is that my understanding correct? Thank you so much. So members, the agenda is before us. The agenda has been slightly rearranged so that item 4, which is the briefing by the Department of the Draft Policy Direction in terms of equity equivalent investment programs, is moved to the end, and that is really to allow the chairperson of the portfolio committee to preside over that item on the agenda when she does arrive. Yes, Honorable Podlani.
Good morning, Acting Chair, and good morning to colleagues. Chair, the first problem we have is that the item that you are now moving last to the agenda was not going to be part of this meeting. We were told by the Secretariat that an application was made for this item to be in the agenda. And we only heard in the media that it was then approved. And we obliged. But for us to then come into the meeting and push the item down is not proper. So I move, Chair, that we carry on with the approved agenda of this meeting and we do not move any item around because it would be setting a bad precedence if we are going to do that. We have given you full confidence as this portfolio committee to preside over this meeting.
No, thank you so much, Honorable Bodlani, for your input. As we are all aware, I will recognize hands and input in response to Honorable Bodlani's. Maybe is there any input in response to? Maybe let me respond to Honorable Bodlani and then take hands. Honorable Bodlani, as you are aware, that the media statement that gave rise to item 4, we all heard about it on Friday or thereabout. And the chairperson of this portfolio committee, Honorable Khusela, then saw it necessary in her wisdom and in the interest of South Africans, because it is a talking point, that she brings this item on this agenda. And as a portfolio committee, it was communicated to us in the group that this item is being brought forward. It was also communicated to us that we will be having a physical meeting as opposed to a virtual meeting. It is therefore my view and my sentiments that since Honorable Khusela Diko was the one, as the chair of this portfolio committee, who deemed it important and necessary that the department comes before this committee and accounts, we afford her that opportunity, and also given the fact that I have advanced reasons that her delay here is not on her own account. It was because of the delay of the airline that she is not here. We afford her that opportunity to be present when item 4 is dealt with. That is my response to Honorable Blani. If members wish to respond to views I shared, you're most welcome to. This is a democratic parliament. Honorable Matafa, I recognize you.
Thank you very much, Chair. No, Chair, I wanted to support the agenda as you tabled with amendments. Chair, I have the rules of the National Assembly here in front of me. I do not see any rule that prohibits the agenda being amended, but I see Rule 154, which states that the committee has the power to determine its own procedures, provided that they are consistent with the Constitution. My view, Chair, is that in us determining the rules and procedures of this committee, you have made a proposal, and I myself would second that approach in terms of altering the agenda in response to unforeseen circumstances that would have led to the chair arriving late. And Chair, that point, Rule 154, we must read it with Rule 155, which also speaks about the committee having the power to determine their own working arrangements. And this includes scheduling of the agenda. So, Chair, I don't think that there is any rule prohibiting what we have done. As such, I would second that we move as you suggest. Thank you, Chair.
No, thank you, Honorable Mutafa. I'll recognize Honorable Shongwe and thereafter Honorable Makobela.
Thank you,
Honorable Shongwe
Chair.
first.
I then, Chair, want to ask and understand what is the need for us to nominate you as an acting chair now if we have to wait for Uche to start the meeting? Is the meeting about Uche Diko, or can we proceed with the meeting? I support the notion that we should move on with the meeting because we have a chairperson, which is you now. So why change the agenda for that reason? Or is there any other reason, if I may ask? Thank you.
Sorry, as I indicated, the item 4 has been moved to the end because Honorable Kusela had placed the item as the chair of this portfolio committee on the agenda, and hence I see it only fit that she
Point of-
presides over
point
that
of-
matter. Sorry?
What's the word? Point of order, Chair, on you. Chair, you are asking us as a portfolio committee to adopt an agenda. And we are saying you have presented to the portfolio committee a proposed agenda, which we adhered to, hence we are here. There is no need for us to change the agenda as it stands. As it is, we are wasting time. We could really adopt the agenda and we will support that. We work on the agenda as is. It stops being the item of the chairperson of the portfolio committee. It is an item of the portfolio committee. Because if it is an item of the chairperson, then we will sit and not say a thing and listen to the chairperson. Unless this is what you are trying to tell us, that it is an item of the chairperson and not of the committee. And because it is an item of the committee, you are empowered to carry on with the agenda as we received it. Thank you.
Thank you, Chairperson, Acting Chairperson. My name is now Tambo from the EFF. I do not see a reason why we are opposed to the restructuring of the agenda as a portfolio committee. I really don't. I would have thought it would be collegial, actually, understanding that the Chairperson hasn't taken an independent decision to just be late for the meeting. I would be very hurt if I would hear that there was a proposal to amend the agenda, and we mustn't pretend like this is not an issue of national and international concern, that my colleagues rejected an amendment of the agenda because I was delayed by a flight. All items on the agenda are equally important, the minutes, everything we're discussing, but we know very well that we're discussing a matter of international importance. And as colleagues, I do not see why we would not adjust the agenda to accommodate a flight delay that is outside of the hands of the chairperson. It doesn't mean the agenda item belongs to the chairperson, but it's an appreciation of all of our collective vested interests in this agenda item. So we have, even you, chairperson, I think you're allowing the meeting to make it about the chair. It's not about the chair. It's about us reaching consensus as a committee as to appreciating the need for full committee participation. These are not committee members who are saying they have chosen to abscond. They're delayed by a flight. Let's allow the restructuring of the agenda to allow full committee participation, and that includes the chair, even if it wasn't the chair. Let's not stifle that, that opportunity to engage. I would support the restructuring of the agenda. Thank you, Chair.
Makobela, I recognize you.
Thank you, Chairperson. Chair, it's unfortunate that we sit here bickering about adoption of an agenda and also starting of a meeting, which brings me to question your fitness to hold that office, that chair temporarily. Because as a chairperson, you need to be able to lead. We cannot sit here and debate whether we must move items because one member of the committee who happens to be the presiding officer of this committee is delayed by a flight. All of us took flight last night because we understood the weight of this meeting and the changes that were made to accommodate the weight of this item. So this delay of a flight cannot hold us at ransom to deal with this item decisively as number one item as it is on the agenda, and we want to adopt it as such. We cannot allow you to play this delay tactics, Chairperson, to accommodate other members that are late. They should have taken the flights late with us last night to make sure that we're here on time. We refuse to be disadvantaged by them If they felt it was important to be here on time, they should have made arrangements last night. And if they're not here, unfortunately, this item is not even more than any other item that we deal with on a weekly basis in this committee. Just because it's got a media attention, billionaires' attention, and any other international attention doesn't mean it's more than supplying rural connectivity by USASA reports that we deal with on EMISA issues that affects our people daily. So we refuse, Chairperson. We need to continue with this agenda as it is. If they are not here, they can catch up online. They can find a way to send their questions if they have any comments or questions. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Makobela. Honorable Mkhacha, you for first Honorable Megan and then Honorable Mkhacha. Sorry, Honorable Mkhacha, first Honorable Megan Adonis. She had her hands up first.
Thanks, Chair. Chair, I don't think this is a waste of time, other than to clarify ourselves about the rules of the House. And the rules were quoted. And I was expecting that a person who's opposed to the restructuring of the agenda would quote from the rules the basis of his objection or her objections. And if none, Chair, then you are empowered to make a ruling. Thanks, Chair.
And thank you, Honorable Mkhacha. Honorable Megan.
Honorable Chair, greetings to honorable members. Chair, I think I would like to just also agree with my honorable members and what has been cited by Honorable Matafa as well. I think we have the full discretion in order for us to proceed. And it's unfortunate that we are saying we do not want to enter into a debate, but we have opened the platform for a debate. The shifting of items on the agenda does not nullify any item, and therefore we have seconded and we have said that we shall proceed with the recommendations as per amendments that proposed by the chairperson. Thank you very much.
Honorable Sitole.
Thank you, Chairperson. Honorable Chairperson, we mustn't ambush ourselves because we came here with a straight agenda. So if this agenda has been changed, we're supposed to be briefed before we adopt this agenda. So now I think we have to go back to our original agenda so that what the chairperson is on the way. He will find us on our meeting. So now I think, Honorable Chairperson, the best way, we have to go back to our agenda as we do have, and we have been received, and then after that we can go forward.
Thank you, Honorable Sitole. Honorable Matafa.
Thank you very much, Chair, for another opportunity. Chair, before you make a ruling, I would respectfully caution the committee in terms of them wanting us to be mechanical in how we approach our procedures. This would not be the first time that an agenda has been amended responding to issues and circumstances that would have obtained, and also prioritizing of certain items. Because we have had instances where ministers would either run late or request to leave early, and as a result will then amend the agenda in the beginning of the meeting in order to be responsive to those particular situations. So before you make your ruling, let us be cautioned as a committee that it will set a bad precedent if we're going to be so rigid that we cannot alter an agenda or allow the chair the discretion is empowered by him being in that particular chair, because it will disadvantage us going forward. Thank you very much, Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Matafa, Honorable Makobela, and this will be the last stand I take before I take a decision. Honorable Bolani will be the last stand. First, Honorable Bolani, then Honorable Makobela, and then the chair will take a decision.
Chair, in the interest of time, I request that we put.
Indeed, Chairperson, let's put it to a vote, because in all the instances where we have changed the agenda, there was consensus. This case, there is no consensus. Thank you.
Thank you, honorable members. Thank you for the robust discussion, and I think this is a democratic parliament. I had arrived at a decision that I was going to propose to this House, and that decision was to proceed with the agenda before us, largely because as we have been guided in terms of the rules of Parliament, there's nothing precluding us from doing what we have done to rearrange the agenda in the light of a matter that is of international and national interest, and to allow the full contingency of this committee to be present, and citing the fact that the chairperson is an integral part of this committee and she constitutes an important part, and also further citing that the chairperson was not negligent in her timing of her flight, it was out of her hand. And also citing the fact that if we are not amicable to the amendment of the agenda, it will not be in the spirit of collegiality of this portfolio committee going forward, and it will set a wrong precedent. Therefore, it is my view that we should proceed with the agenda, and the first item will be the adoption of the minutes. Honorable Badlani, you wanted to speak? Thank you. Can we proceed with the item on the agenda, please? The chairperson has ruled.
Aibo Chair.
I recognize you.
When I spoke, Chair, I asked that we put it to a vote.
Okay. Now let's allow democracy to take its faults. I think this is a good, useful, the people are watching the democracy. Honorable Badlani and Honorable Mokobela suggested that we go to a vote. Let us put it to a vote. Those by the show of hands, and I as well as a member of the portfolio, those in show of hands that we proceed with the agenda, amended agenda before us, please raise your hands. Yes, Honorable Badlani.
Could the Secretariat please assist us in terms of ATC, who are the members who would have a vote in this?
Sure.
Because we know there's also alternate members.
Chairperson?
Yes. Honorable Matafa.
Thank you very much, Chair. Can I plead with my comrades from my caucus that we withdraw on supporting the...
Okay, thank you so much. Sorry, Honorable Matafa, I wasn't quite hear you.
Thank you very much, Chair. I wanted to plead with members of my caucus that we do not allow this meeting to go into a vote. Normally, the committees of Parliament pursue a consensus approach. So instead of dividing the House, I would wish to withdraw my caucus and allow the agenda as initially submitted and supported by Honorable Badlani to proceed.
No, thank you so much, Honorable Matafa. I also support then, in the interest of not setting the wrong precedent for this House and delaying future meetings where it goes to votes. What this House has demonstrated, unfortunately, is the lack of collegiality amongst us. And as your chairperson had originally ruled, we proceed. But we will proceed with the original agenda that was circulated, and that will be the first item, will be the item on the minutes. Thank you so much. Jared, can you please flag the minutes? Okay, yes, Secretariat, can you please talk through the minutes?
Sorry, Chair. Was that the first item in
The minutes.
initial
The minutes.
initial agenda? It wasn't, Chair.
Or is it the second item? Oh, sorry. Okay, sorry. So the first item was the minister's briefing. My apologies. So can we have an adoption of the mover for the adoption of the agenda, please?
Chairperson, I move.
Thank you so much, Honorable Badlani. Honorable Badlani moves. Who wants to second the adoption? Honorable.
Honorable Shongwe,
Thank you so much. Honorable Shongwe approves the
The
adoption.
chair is here. We're
Adoption of the minutes. Long live the chairperson of the portfolio committee.
You are doing great, Honorable
Thank you
Subrata.
so much.
Carry on.
I think this was a wonderful demonstration of the democracy of a democratic parliament of South Africa. Let us
Delaying
welcome the chairperson of the portfolio committee, Honorable Kosela Dikosang. Thank you so much, Honorable.
Now you are not nominating
Just
you again.
to thank you, Honorable Soprabri. We are disappointed with Todd.
You're
Todd.
not ready.
Long live the acting chair. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Honorable Subrathi. Honorable members, let me apologize once again. I think everything that could have gone wrong went wrong today. Phew, okay, I'm out of breath. But let me thank you for not voting. I think as I was coming through the gate, I heard you discussing voting about the agenda. And I was of the view that that would be the worst thing that would happen to this portfolio committee. We have never had an issue that we were not able to find one another on, and we were not able to at least resolve, if not through consensus, but through agreement. So thank you very much. Let me also greet the Minister, Honorable Malatsi. I see there's leadership of the department. I don't know if the chair of ICASA eventually made it. I left him at the airport with Honorable Ndlela, amongst others. It's a full house. I see esteemed